Hey ladies, how are we today? I am super excited to be here and talk about wholesaling. So we are going to get going pretty quickly just because there's so much to cover here and I want to make sure. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I have the group pulled up so I can see the names. And I want to make sure. But first thing I'm going to, there we go, that's why. So as I have the group pulled up. There we go. All right, so team can hear me. Everything's good, so we're going to move forward. We've been having issues with the mics and all that, so we are trying this new way. Okay, so let's talk wholesaling. All right, wholesaling 101. You want to get into real estate, or even you're already in real estate, you're looking to scale your wholesaling business, or maybe you're into rentals and flips and you're looking to get into wholesaling. There's a million reasons why people would want to wholesale. And I was talking to my ladies during our student intensive last Friday, and I was like, why would you want to wholesale, right? There's so many reasons, but why would you want to? And a lot of people want to wholesale because it's quick and easy cash. We call it our ATM machine. And so we call it our ATM machine. It's quick and easy cash, and you learn a lot about the business. And then you can move into the other strategies a lot easier. But I will say this, wholesaling is not for everyone, okay? It takes a certain person to wholesale. And in the beginning, if you have no money, I recommend it. But it takes a certain grit, it takes a certain consistency, and it takes a lot of mindset for wholesalers. Now, I've been wholesaling specifically and only for over 8 years now. I do it completely virtual, so I've never seen the properties that I've wholesaled. I've never done walkthrough with sellers or anything like that. And so I personally love wholesaling. Okay? So I'm just reading some comments over here. And yeah, exactly. There's a lot of reasons people want to get into wholesaling because it's a great way to fund the fix and flips and buy and holds. I have a few coaches who started with the buy and hold and fix and flip and was like, okay, I need money to leverage and to do more with it. And so they moved into that. So I specifically love it as well. Just reading some comments. Okay. So now let's talk about different tips I would give on wholesaling. The number one is to really find the area, the market that you want to invest in first. This is crucial. I have seen so many people waste their time in the wrong areas and then wonder why it's not working for them. Okay? And so finding that area and making sure you are well versed on it, you know exactly what you need and everything like that is really, really important. Then you go into pulling seller leads. So seller leads, oh man, it can be a million different ways. But like what we're going to teach this weekend in New York City, you can either do quick wins or long nurture. And they're very different types. And a lot of people, when we do this exercise during workshops or events or anything like that, realize that what they have been taught as far as quick sources to get leads is actually wrong, and it's more into a longer phase and a longer nurture. And so quick wins like for sale by owner and MLS properties and things like that move a lot faster than the long nurture that's like probates and divorce and vacant properties, right? And so you want to find out when you go into seller leads, what's really important there is in the beginning, go after the quickest stuff. And you can add in some of your long nurture to come in through, in the upcoming months, because eventually those months do come up and those deals start going into closing. Makes sense? So you want to do that. And you really want to look for the hidden gems. I don't teach to always pull a list. Okay? I don't do that because pulling the list that everyone else is pulling, unless it's something you pull on your own, like going and buying somebody else's list, they've already sifted through that, right? So lists that take a little more work that you pull on your own is what I would recommend. So I like to drive for dollars. That's the only time I see properties is if I'm in the area and I'm driving for dollars. I like that. That is, you get 30% properties that don't end up on a list, or maybe it's not, the seller isn't distressed financially yet where a list would pick it up. But they are stressed by the look of their house that maybe they're making payments and it's not hitting a list, but they're not able to take care of their home. So I really like the Drive for Dollars. But then there's other lists that you can pull online where if you're doing this virtual, which is the goal, you can do. Okay? I'm just giving some tips, okay? Some tips, some areas to look into. Then you want to be really, really good at crunching your numbers. So I feel like my students sometimes get a little too stuck on this. As a wholesaler, you can do your best. But at the end of the day, the market, the year-end buyers are the ones that are going to decide what they're going to pay for it. So don't waste all this time sitting there and running your numbers all day. Okay? Like, you will just waste so much time. Just do your best and then throw it out there and let the end buyers, in this case, because you're wholesaling, deal with what they would actually pay for it. Okay? So I say that. Now, my fix and flippers and my landlords, yeah, you do need to be a little more on top of your numbers. But my wholesalers, do your best. Obviously, you want to be within a ballpark range. You don't want to be so out there that people are like, you're insane, you don't know what you're doing. But you will have a general outline. Like, our students get a general outline of what to follow. And I'm telling you, so many of you guys get stuck on the nitty gritty of like the rehab cost down to it needs to be within like $1,000 mark. That's not going to work. I've had properties where the end buyer had quoted rehabs from people that were brought in by the seller, like bids on what it would cost before the seller decided just to say screw it. And then people everywhere else, like all the end buyers, are like, no, it's going to cost me double this or triple this and all this. And so you can only do so much. So don't stress over it like that, okay? That's my tip of the day there. So you want to get really good at that, assessing their value and making sure that these are good deals to wholesale. You need to make a profit. The average wholesale profit after everything is said and done, after you do all like your stuff, is at least $10,000. At least. That's the average I'm seeing. Now, I have seen people make a lot more. I have seen people make less. This will depend on your market. So you want to be careful. Now, I want to also, while I'm talking about this, some states you have to be licensed or you have to purchase a license to wholesale in. So you need to understand the laws of your states of wholesaling. And so kind of keep that in mind as well. Then you want to get really good at the contract. I asked on several meetings, what are the scariest parts of wholesaling? And it's the contract for people, right? And even though in our training we have how to fill it out, when you're under contract, it's always good to have somebody else look at it before you put it under contract, right? When you're filling out the contract, because I'll see our ladies, even with the training, miss important things. And so I actually review every single contract for the students. And when you go out there, you want to make sure you have like the professional and legal things there. So if you're doing negotiations, I'm blanking, contingencies, then that's really important that you know what contingency, and every contract is different. We have like 3 that we use all the time, but we'll switch them out. You don't use them all. And I see a lot of ladies that like to just put them all in there. Don't overcomplicate it. There are certain ways to fill out a contract. We have a contract that's 1 page front and back. All right. So I wanted to kind of like relay that contracts, once you know how to fill them out, they're not as scary, but you need to know how to fill them out. Okay. But once you do, it's really, really not as scary as you think it is. It's just a rinse and repeat for every property. You might switch out a contingency here and there, but it's actually the simplest part of the strategy in my eyes. Out of everything else, I'd rather do contracts all day than talk to sellers and deal with buyers, and I love buyers, so that's saying something. They're super simple once you know. So we review every single one for our students. So you get all that, then you go to market to your end buyers. Now, the end buyers, everyone's like, I'm really worried about finding a buyer in today's market. Sorry, I'm switching back and forth so I can see what you're doing, but also stay on track. So they really they're like, I'm really worried about finding buyers. Buyers are the easiest part outside of contracts for me, but that's the easiest part of the transaction. Sellers are way more complicated to deal with than buyers. Buyers already want to buy it. As long as you have it priced right and you're doing the right strategy to market your property, you will find buyers. I'm currently working really closely with a student, and I went in and I've been helping her with dealing with buyers. We made some tweaks and now the buyers are flying in, right? So when we made those tweaks, when I was able to review what she had done, as we're trying to copy paste it to other things, buyers were coming in. And so it matters to really make sure that when you have it priced, it's priced right. And what are people buying in that area? So I like to look at who has already bought in that area and what have they bought and what have they paid. Because then I know if I can get deals under that, and I've talked to a few of them, then I know I can also get it sold, right? And so finding cash buyers is really, really important there to do that. And then you go to closing and you cash your deals. And so it's really, really cool. Now, some tips that I would give on like being the rock star wholesaler, okay? You want to build an amazing network, okay? Your network is your net worth. You hear this all the time, but I don't think you understand. The ladies in our group have been able to do amazing things because they network out, and they also network within the group. And you can have boots on the ground, agents, you can find cash buyers and things like that. And so it really matters that you put yourself out there. And that's why a lot of people that have those kind of personalities, they don't want to do it. They don't want to wholesale because they're like, I got to put myself out there all the time. And it's nerve-wracking between sellers and buyers. But I'm telling you, that's where the money is in real estate, okay? Rentals, it takes forever to get there, to get some passive income. You have to buy a lot of properties. And then on the residential side, and then my fix and flippers, it's a constant battle, okay? You can only imagine. HGTV makes it look like it's easy. It's not as easy as HGTV is, but great for ideas. So you want to make sure that you really network with people, take the time to like put yourself out there, talk to private lenders, title companies, agents, other investors, get to know people and all of that. And then I would give another tip is to really have effective marketing strategies to attract the sellers to want to work with you. Because a lot of people are really worried about, well, there's so much competition. I'm going to give you a little mindset tip here. There's competition everywhere you go. You're not going to go into a market that is succeeding where you can wholesale real estate and there's not other investors there. What I tell people, sorry, I'm having like hard time breathing today, but what I tell people is that you have to, how do I put this? You have to just get over that fear and really make yourself separate from everybody else. You have to be authentic. You have to show up as someone that genuinely cares and provide solutions. I don't give my seller one solution when they work with me. I give them up to 2 to 3 solutions. That way they can choose what works for them. So for you, the same thing is really understanding that you have to separate yourself. How are you different? Like I think about let's put it in a field that you guys can understand if you're not an investor. You're listening to me, but there are 30, 40 other gurus out there, mentors as well. And sure, you're probably listening to a few of them. But there are certain people you gravitate to that you choose to work with and stuff like that because of their energy, their vibe, and all of that. Same thing for you, okay? Same thing for you. So I would definitely say kind of keep that in mind that there's going to be a competition anywhere you go, but how can you separate yourself from the competition for sellers to want to work with you, okay? I'm just reading if there's any questions here. Okay. So then let's go into community. Like I'm going off of the PDF, by the way. I'm just elaborating. So if you didn't get the PDF, comment below. And my team, either Amanda, you'll see Amanda REIW, or Faith REIW, or Mandy REIW. They will come in. Anything that says REIW after the name is somebody on my team. So they will come in and make sure you get that PDF so that you kind of have a condensed version of what I'm saying. Okay, so then the biggest tip I'll give you outside of this, I'll give you 2 more tips, is that you are a problem solver. You have the solutions. And I've said this before, if you're scared to reach out, then you really want to understand if you are meant to be in this business because you are a solution provider. And if somebody's in distress, the whole point of this business is to help people. It's a service. And so you need to reach out to them and say, I'm here to help and I have solutions. So don't be scared to reach out when you know what to do. And maybe you don't know fully, but you'll learn, right? Especially my students, they just come back and ask all the questions in the group. Don't be so nervous to talk to people. You're just having a conversation with someone on the seller or on the phone. So you're just talking to a seller. You're just talking to a buyer. This is a solution. Even with buyers, you're providing them something they need, which is more properties, right? And then the other thing is to really gain the biggest thing, I left this for last. is your mindset. And my ladies know this, whether you're a student or not, it is the mindset that holds you back. It is not the tips. It is not the strategies, because you could take what I'm telling you and go do a deal. But it's your mindset. It's getting out of your own way and actually going and doing these deals, right? That's incredibly, incredibly important to remember that. We talk ourselves out of it. We attach way too. I always tell my students, take the emotion out of it, right, ladies? Take the emotion out of this business. You are here to problem solve. You have the solutions. You know how to run numbers. So, especially if you're a student, you know how to run numbers. And you just got to step back. And does this work from an actual detailed monetary approach? And then you come in with that solution to help out. So when you change your mindset, and anyone I know that has become successful, it came down to, especially if they struggled to get their first deal or two, it came down to, I had to change my mindset to make real estate work for me, because I wasn't there. And so this is something I tell a lot of my students. I am not here to coddle you or make you feel comfortable. I am here to make you successful. And the only way I can do that is to dig deep into your mindset and help you shift your limiting beliefs. Okay? I am here to make sure that you guys are successful. And that's important to me. And even my ladies that are not students that are watching this live, know that that's my job. Okay? As your coach, as your mentor, as someone you trust, I take the emotions out of your mindset and I put you into a successful mode. And anyone that's going to make it into real estate, this is not the easiest thing, or everyone would do it. And so let me help you make you successful, right? But you have to remove a lot of the mindset and the fears and the emotions and the worry. And that upsets some people when I say that, but you have to look at this from an analytical approach, a logical approach, and be able to understand that from my mind, like from that. And so when people are like, Liz, I would love to be just like you, that took a lot of years of really taking the emotion out of this business. And what does it take for me to get successful? This is what it took. It took really just looking at the numbers, and I went off the numbers, right? You give us the kick in the ass that we need. That's me. I'm literally the kick in the ass coach. That's what everyone calls me. They'll walk up and be like, Liz, I need a kick in the ass. All right. So now what we're going to do is talk about the steps. This was, I think, page 3 of your PDF, but you'll know where you could fill it in. I'm going to go over this really quickly just because you can get this during our wholesaling workshops. You can get this if you come to New York City this weekend, where I will actually dive deeper into this stuff. But honestly, I'm going to keep it really short because of time's sake as well, because I want to make sure I don't forget raffles. If I forget raffles, team, let me know, because I literally forgot till this moment, and stuff like that. So the first one is obviously location. You want to make sure that your location is somewhere that's good for wholesaling. As I said, people have messed this up and have wasted a lot of time. Then the second is, then you open up your business entity. Now, I am not a tax accountant. I am not a CPA. I have to legally say this. I cannot give you tax advice. You have to do that. But what I will say is, wait until you've chosen where you're going to invest. Because like my New York City ladies, you aren't going to wholesale in New York City. They made it like virtually impossible for you to do so. So what if you choose New Jersey? What if you choose Philadelphia, but you opened up this LLC or business entity in New York, right? So wait until you decide. Like, I live in Florida, but my main market is Missouri. So I have a business entity there and Florida, because I do it here too. But my main, like my hub is Missouri. So then you open up your business entity. Then we're going to look at what cash buyers are buying in that area so that we can confirm that they are buying. What are they buying? What are they paying for? My biggest recommendation here is keep the house, once it's fully fixed up, under the FHA limit. There, I just gave you a really good golden nugget for what to look for. What is the FHA limit in that area? Then see what people are buying for cash. Okay. Then it's finding seller leads. So Liz, you did buyers first. Yeah, before you have a property. Yes, because I need to know before I go and get these properties that buyers are buying in this property, right? They're buying these type of properties. Because the worst you could do is go out there and you find a single family home in an area that's full of multifamily homes, I learned this lesson, and you have a very hard time selling it because buyers aren't buying that in that area. So then you go and you do the buyers, then you find the seller leads, then you go into step number 5, which is marketing to these seller leads, talking to them, having a conversation with them, and all of that. And then you go into entering the negotiation phase and contracts with the seller. You put it under contract with the seller, and then you take that contract directly to the title company, and you put down with even as little as $1. You just have to have some monetary consideration with your EMD, which is earnest money deposit. Then I will go and get pictures and do my due diligence. Everyone finds this crazy. But why am I going to waste my time and risk losing a contract with the seller? Like, I have a conversation with them on the phone of everything they need, and then I'm going to do my best offer, send it out there. Then once they approve it, because if you do this before and you have a boots on the ground because you're doing this virtual and you're paying them to go out there and the seller decides to go with someone else in the meantime, you've just wasted a ton of money. So I actually do contracts first, then I go do my pictures and actually get my official stuff in. I'll find out if the seller is lying, and it's in my contingency that I will renegotiate if I find out there's anything really crazy. And then I will market to the cash buyers officially. So once I have all the things I need, I have pictures and everything. I do this really quickly within the first 12 hours of it going under contract. My boots on the ground runs over there and takes pictures. Then I will do the cash buyers. Then you will get it under the contract with cash buyers. That goes to the title company. I will give you another tip here. Please do not take money from anyone. You are not allowed to. You need to send it with yourself, with the contract. Your buyer will wire the money to the title company directly. You never have that money. Okay? You never touch the money. Nobody touches any money until closing. Then at closing, which is step number 10, your buyer walks away with the property. Your seller walks away with whatever you agreed on, and you make that middle profit. And that could be anywhere from, I've seen as low as $500 in some really low income areas, to the biggest one I've seen to date that I've seen personally by student, coach, or anything is $111,000 assignment fee. Yes, one deal, 111 was one of my coaches that, works with us, $111,000. This is out of California. He lives in Florida, so he did this virtual. Okay. I am giving a lot of good tips. I might be giving too much, but that's okay because I like wholesaling, and if I can help you guys make some money, that is what I'm here for. So I hope that you guys are able to take some of this advice and move forward with it. Super good stuff. Was this helpful? Let's see. I'm not yawning. I'm trying to breathe. I've been having just a hard time breathing for the last 2 weeks, but I think I know what it is. I'm not sick. All right. Awesome. I'm glad it was helpful. So before I do the raffle, the one thing I do want to talk about is New York City is this weekend. We still have quite a few spots left, I think just because of the holidays, and that's okay. We have a few spots left, and we are super, super excited about it. And we are going to be talking wholesaling, buy and hold, fix and flip. I will teach you how to find leads. We will talk about what works what's going to work in the new year, 2024. And we're also going to let you leave with a game plan. I have a lot of my students coming. I'm really excited. I have people flying from all over the country, and they are people flying from different places. I'm super excited. It's 3 hours, and then students, we kind of have a surprise for you. So Amanda will be reaching out today because we're actually going to take you out with us, and we're going to mastermind on the go. So plan for a couple of hours there. But if you want to come this weekend, please, please come. It's only a couple of hours of time. You will love it. You will not regret it. Anyone that's been to an event of ours knows that we give a lot of info out. So, and it doesn't hurt what we give to our students. Our students are well aware of that. But we give so much info out, you could take it and go. Okay? You can really start 2024 off on a really, really good note, right? Okay. So I'm super excited to see you guys. I will be bringing some of our merch. I'm not bringing a ton just because I am flying in, but we will have some merch there. Some of my students have ordered. If I can bring, if it's stuff that I already have, I will be bringing some merch there. So that, because I know ladies love it, they said they feel stronger when they wear it, which makes me happy. Okay. All right. So let's talk raffle winner. So here's the thing. We do have a rule with this raffle winning, and it's because, I mean, it's rules. You're getting it for free. So play with it, deal with it with me here. Okay. So what we do is we ask that you do not tag the person. They have to watch this live, and how you get entered into it is they come in and you comment throughout our group. So we have a group for those that are on my public social media sites right now and not in the Facebook group. We have a group called Real Estate Investing Women. If you go there and you answer the 3 questions, you have to answer it. We're trying to limit the amount of spammers in the group. We still get them, but we're trying. And you just comment like crazy. And then I take the top 3 commenters. My team will go in there and they literally track how many times you've commented because Facebook doesn't update enough. And then we put them in a spinning wheel and you get the raffle of the week. You have 1 week to claim this raffle. So this lovely lady commented like crazy, and you will win the raffle of the week, which is 1 month on us for Deal Machine. I think it's like $100 value here, and you'll get 1 month with us on it. And so thank you so much for interacting the way you did, because it does help build our community, but also we just want to give back. It's the holidays and all of that. So our winner is Kate Kim. Congratulations, Kate. I'm so excited for you. And what I find funny is it's mostly students that are winning, but I'm not choosing them because they're students, because they get their own raffle in the student group. We're literally choosing because they are commenting a heck of a lot. So my non-students interact. It's still a great community, as you can see. They are so helpful. And so I just want to make sure that everybody knows you are all welcome to comment and interact, and you will love it so much. Please don't tag. Amanda, if you could remove that, please don't tag. That is one of our rules. So great. So we just do that because we want them to watch the live. That was kind of the point of it. And then we're going to have really, really fun raffles coming up. Now, what's coming up the rest of the month in this community here? I am going to really set you guys up for success in 2024. Okay, so I'm going to set you guys up for success in 2024. And don't worry, there is a replay. You can come back into this group or check out our YouTube. But 2024, the rest of this month, it's mindset success, technical success, and all of that. I've put a lot of effort into planning, my team and I, your next few weeks up to 2024. So kind of keep that in mind. So yes, please, by all means, come to New York City. I would love to see you guys. But I'm going to have a lot of fun stuff coming in. A lot of fun raffles are coming out and stuff like that as well. So I'm going to get off here, but I hope that this was helpful. There's a replay on YouTube. There's also a replay in the group. You can find it. We do not delete our replays. That way you guys can always find it. And keep on commenting so you could get into the next raffle. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day. My New York City ladies, I will see you in 2 days. Bye, everybody.